The Shadow Shack, a fanfic by Jasmine. Chapter 4. Before I begin, let me just tell you this real quick. So, as you all know, unless your weekdays are messed up, it's Friday. And as you know, if you've read the description for the first chapter, my goal is to post the last chapter of this fanfic on Halloween, which is in 8 days. And I only have 6 chapters done, so I'm going to be recording the audiobooks for the rest of the chapters, and after I make a chapter, I'm going to post the audiobook for it, but I will save a little bit. It's not like, oh, hey, here's all this stuff, but you have to wait for the last chapter. No. So, yeah, let's get on with this before it becomes 15 minutes and I haven't even told you the chapter yet. Okay. The first room, obviously once a living room, had old, decayed-looking couches, armchairs, and tables. A few torn-up paintings hung on the wall. Rugs remained here and there on the wood floor, some torn apart, and some in one piece but wearing away at the edges and fading in color. Furnishings with broken, splintered, missing arms or legs, wood rotting away, and rusty metal springs bursting from them. And even Pinkie Pie was sobered at this sight. Blood stains lingered on some of them. I want to die, so let's find the artifact and get out of here, poor little Fluttershy whimpered. We are not going to die. Maybe it's still a coincidence, and that there's no evil, murderous unicorn here, Rainbow Dash insisted. Yeah, Pinkie added, or maybe we're just imagining all this creepy stuff. Or maybe the legend was wrong and the unicorn is a prisoner and she never killed any pony, but evil ghosts trapped her in this house and made her look bad. Or maybe... As Pinkie kept naming random other situations, the weirdest of which was the unicorn was a ghost and her punishment for making bad cupcakes was to be framed for terrible things she would never do. Fluttershy began to feel more and more unsure. It could be anything Pinkie was naming, the story Rainbow Dash had told, all a huge coincidence, or something else entirely. They continued on and entered what looked like a kitchen. The doors to several cabinets were broken off, and there were table parts and chairs everywhere, as if the unicorn constantly had guests over before. Okay, I say we go into groups and search around for the artifact, Rainbow Dash suggested. Better than splitting up entirely, I guess, Rarity whispered. Rarity, Applejack, and Pinkie Pie can search the cupboards. Fluttershy, you and me will search around the rubble. Call out if you need help or see something suspicious. Got that? With nods from her friends, Rainbow Dash went up to Fluttershy and motioned over to a broken table piece. The other 3 went over to the cupboards and began opening and shifting through the dusty food remains. Pinkie Pie went ahead, throwing open one cupboard after another, bouncing along and blowing away dust. Nothing here, she called. Rarity decided to go over to the stove and used her magic to carefully open it. Yucky! But nothing here. Ew. Applejack went over to what looked like a fridge. It seemed stuck, so she tugged as hard as she could. The door flew open and some light came into the room. A cracked light bulb was still in the fridge. Nothing here either, unless the artifact is a broken light bulb. Rainbow Dash lifted a table leg and blew away dust underneath. All of a sudden, Fluttershy let out a small cry. Rainbow whipped around and saw Fluttershy cringing. When she looked up, Fluttershy said, Sorry, Splinter. This wood is sharp. I'm just glad it was nothing more than... Rainbow Dash started, but was interrupted by a loud crash from upstairs, followed by a mare's scream. Fluttershy instantly darted under a table wreckage nearby. That sounded like Like, we should get out of here as quick as possible? Applejack finished. No, come on, we have to find the artifact. The only place we haven't checked is upstairs, unless there's another room down here, Rainbow Dash interrupted. And so they left the kitchen and headed back into the living room. There was another door on the other side of it, now just visible from behind the shadows. It was closed, but had the same rotten, decaying look to it as the rest of the room, decked with a few bloodstains to match in perfectly. They found it locked, and even Rarity couldn't open it with her magic. Can we check somewhere else now? Fluttershy whispered. Hold on there, y'all. I got an idea. Move aside, Applejack said. The others backed away from the door. Applejack secured her hat, got a running start, and then kicked the door like she would buck an apple tree. It flung open with a crack, revealing the beginning of a hallway. Applejack trotted back over to her friends. Well, what are y'all waiting for?